Welcome to the Friday Fraudster podcast. Join them as they discuss sad, funny, and sometimes disturbing fraud stories. Be sure to catch past episodes on your favorite podcasting platform or go to www.fridayfraudster.com and grab some CPE while you're there.
Hey, welcome friends to episode number 121 of the Friday Fraudster, and today we're talking about the nursing home nonsense. But before we get started, let me remind you that the Friday Fraudster is your favorite interactive podcast where friends discuss fraud on Fridays. Every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Central Time, and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you really like this show, tell all your friends and go over to your favorite app store. Give us a 5-star rating. Listen, why don't we have a community of auditors where we can collaborate and talk to one another? Well, we do. Join my WhatsApp community. Go to links.thatauditguy.com/WhatsApp. I'll drop a link in the chat in just a few moments. But who are our special guests this week? And will you be the next special guest co-host on the Friday Fraudster? Benefits are plenty. You get CPE credit, but you also get to collaborate with other audit, compliance, and fraud professionals. You get to improve your public speaking skills, and best of all, you get to put up with me for about an hour. I don't know if that's really a perk or if that's really a punishment, but either way, we're listing it as a benefit here. And with that said, let's get to our special guest for today. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey. Happy Friday.
Or as some people say, happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody says that.
A few people do. I swear I didn't make it up. Stephanie says it. Well, Shafundu is here. Roxanne is here. And my man Clarence. Wait, wasn't that just last week where Clarence was a guest host with us? Or was it the week before? I can't remember. All the days seem to cloud together. Oh, that was last week. It was Clarence and Bonita.
Nice. I missed that one. I need to go back and watch that one.
Well, and you know what? Clarence actually came back. So that means that he must not have had such a bad experience. Oh boy.
It's fun.
Somebody said Christine is looking nice today. I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's LinkedIn user. I'll be able to tell you in just a minute when
it's Stephanie.
Oh, it's Stephanie. Okay.
Thank you, Stephanie.
All righty.
I try.
Well, Thomas, what does that make us? Just chopped liver?
I'm just keeping my mouth shut on that one. There's no correct response that won't get me in trouble with somebody. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on that one.
You notice how I just changed the subject just to...
Oh.
All right. So look. At some point in our lives, we've all had someone in our family or a friend that was elderly that needed to go to a nursing home, right? And I've had friends who actually worked in nursing homes. And back in the day, I actually used to volunteer in a nursing home. We used to go and play bingo. Was it every other week or something like that? We used to go play bingo with them, and we had a good time. I think you trust people to look after your loved ones, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I think that is an extremely important job, yet also a very hard job. What do you guys think?
I think it takes a lot of patience. I mean, yeah, but no.
I think it takes a certain, it's a calling, right? I mean, it's a servant position. Yes, you get paid. Yes, it's a real job. I don't want to downplay it at all, but it takes a certain calling, a special type of person to work in those type of atmospheres. It can't be easy. It's got to be very mentally and physically trying, to say the least.
Yeah. It almost makes you wonder what the vetting process is like. I would hope that they do background checks, especially criminal background checks, but it makes you wonder what the vetting process is like because it's filled with, doctors, nurses, certified nursing assistants, phlebotomists. So you name it, the positions in a nursing home, they run the gamut, and you never know what you might get.
Well, especially since it's not, I have had a couple of family members that have worked in that industry, and I've known a couple of people. It's not a very high paying profession either.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is how much certification do you need to work? I mean, I know there's probably LPNs and registered nurses that need to be, but like your bedside care, people that are helping taking care and stuff like that, how much certification do you need?
Yeah, very true. Now, Stephanie said she pretty much grew up in a nursing home. She was the kid of a single mom, and daycare was not affordable, so she volunteered as a teen and young adult. And she clarifies her mom worked there, so that's why she was there. She wasn't just there trying to hang out with the old people.
I can only imagine the stories that Stephanie was told by these people.
Yeah.
Though that had to have been a good experience, or at least I hope it was for you, Stephanie.
Absolutely a good life experience. Shri said she loved to play to play bingo, eat cake and ice cream with the elderly. And Shri is over on YouTube. So you guys, if you've not subscribed to that Audit Guys YouTube channel, we will drop a link into the chat for that as well, because you need to subscribe. And by the way, while I'm here at this point, for those of you who know, we do giveaways on this show, and you know what to do if you want to be a part of the giveaway. I'm not going to tell you just yet. I'm just going to see how many regulars we have that just automatically know what to do. And so Thomas Roxanne says Friday is definitely
all right. Definitely. I stand corrected. I'm sorry.
But
I just always question anything that Robert says,
Right. Right. Guess who else is over on YouTube? Apparently that Audit Guy is over on YouTube responding to people too. That guy's everywhere.
I just love the fact that we had the comment about Christine looking nice today, and right after that, Shri, which if people don't know, Shri and Robert have a thing going, and she was the very next comment. So yeah, it was very wise of Rob to just kind of change the subject after that.
I'm semi-intelligent.
I got to meet Shri, didn't I? Well, not in person.
Yes, you did. I'm semi-intelligent, just semi, semi. You know what Stephanie says? It was, and it taught her to appreciate life and enjoy it while we have our wits. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
There's nothing like sitting with someone who is older than you, right? I mean, just has more life experience, and hearing some of the stories from when they were younger. There's so much wisdom to gain from that. I'm a little jealous of those that got to volunteer as teens and young adults. The knowledge that they got that I didn't get when I was that age.
Right. Well, it's really what's really interesting is I grew up knowing both grandmothers on both sides of my family, both grandfathers, and also my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother died when I was 16 years old. So
oh, wow.
I was around a lot of elderly people. My last grandmother just passed away in March or April of this year. I don't know. It all runs together now. So I don't have any more now. But I think that elderly people have a special place in this world because they've seen a lot, they've done a lot. And so that's why today's story is very disturbing. We have a young lady who was a private duty health aide, and she worked for a home health agency. Now, the agency provided home health aides to residents at the senior communities in Miami-Dade County. And the allegation is that from May to June of 2020, she stole personal identifiable information of 2 elderly residents under her care. I'm just going to stop there for a moment. What do you guys think about that? She stole information from 2 elderly residents under her care.
You know, my honest feedback?
Yes.
There's a special place. I'll just say that. There's a special place for those people.
It's dark and hot, eh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little encouraging that there's so many of these that we come across that are 8 years long, 10 years long. They've been doing it for a long time. This one, May to June, that's a couple of months. And it was only 2 elderly residents. That's encouraging to me that it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much longer. So whatever happened that caused it to stop, that's fantastic. That was my first instinct. I was like, oh, it's only 2 months, but still, it's the fact that they were able to get do what they did is heartbreaking, because I'm sure that put a lot of stress on both of those families.
Yeah. What's really interesting, when I looked at what they were charged with, though. So the charges: conspiracy to commit access device fraud. Next, use of an unauthorized access device, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and actual wire fraud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd ever seen what was the first one I said? Unauthorized access device conspiracy. I'd never seen that before.
Access device. I got to use the powerful Google here to see, because it's exactly what it sounds like. It's using someone else's electronic device as without authorization. I didn't know that could be a crime as such.
Oh, maybe like online banking fraud, like if people access your device through your device for online banking and stuff like that.
So what Mr. Google said to me was, conspiracy to commit access device fraud refers to a criminal act where 2 or more individuals agree to engage in fraudulent activities involving unauthorized access to and use of electronic devices such as credit cards or other financial access devices for illegal purposes. It involves a plan or agreement between the individuals to carry out fraudulent transactions, to obtain personal information, or use unauthorized access devices to commit financial fraud. So to a certain extent, if we use someone's cell phone and access what's the name of that payment platform? I can see it in my head. It's green. What's a Cash App? So
Okay.
if you use somebody's Cash App on their cell phone, you could actually be charged with this crime, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, you're accessing their financial information, which that's just another reason why you shouldn't just save passwords in your phone, right? I mean, there should be some type of.
Yeah.
I mean, I always used to use biometrics myself, but I'm glad that there's some kind of some way to prosecute this kind of crime, right? I'm sure that's kind of a new type of crime that they could do, but it's great that they were actually able to put this on here. Yeah, conspiracy to use it, and then also the unauthorized use of it. So yeah, those are 2 new charges that we've never seen before.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Now, Stephanie says it happens more than we hear about. Yeah, I'd imagine so. And also sounds like they use someone's laptop or phone. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Now, Andrea Kwan is here. Andrea, hope you're well. We hadn't seen you in a while. Hopefully you're enjoying the new job. I think it's been about a year now, maybe. So Andrea said, I audit skilled nursing facilities for elderly veterans, and it's horrible to hear people exploiting the vulnerable under their care. Yeah.
You're doing a good service, Andrea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now, okay, let's just go here. Let's just dive right into how they actually did it. So the specific details were a little sparse, but It mentioned that one young lady stole the personal identifiable information of two elderly residents. She then shared that information with her daughter and then also a gentleman who was the finance manager at an auto dealership. They then used that information to purchase vehicles. Then they also applied for various loans and credit cards. Now, the total cost of the vehicles did not exceed $500,000, but it was close to it, right? It was about $500,000 worth of vehicles. They also applied for credit cards and an economic disaster injury loan. They also applied for a small business administration loan under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act, the CARES Act.
They were at work. They were busy.
They were busy, but I don't know. It seems like they went through a whole lot of work for very little. I think I found one of the loans they got was like either $5,000 or $10,000. Wish I could find that link now, but yeah, a $10,829 PPP loan. It's just it seems like they did a lot of work to gain almost nothing, and then get caught very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the total haul though was over 500,000 if you include the value of the cars. So the loans, yeah, were very small amounts, which was very interesting. Now, Michael says, especially utilizing the feature like the face recognition, once the phone and the app is unlocked, they're able to do whatever they want. Unfortunately, the elderly are very susceptible to it. Now, here's a tip, here's a pro tip for everyone. Even after your phone is unlocked, you can have an app that will actually lock individual apps. So in addition to your phone password, which could be one specific password, you have an app that locks your other apps. That's what I use. So it's a dual level of security, and you choose which apps it locks to. So you don't have to lock every app. So, you know, those video games that you're addicted to, you can keep those unlocked, but like your banking information, you can lock those. And so they're under dual lock and key. So you can hand your phone over to someone and they still can't access your banking information.
Now, do you use an iPhone?
Oh God, no. I don't engage in the forbidden fruit. I don't
Well, no, I agree. I'm the same way. I was just surprised because I use an Android as well, and mine automatically has everything locked. Where other than like email and some of that, but like the banking apps and all of that, I have to log in separately. Just unlocking my phone doesn't do that. So that's
I have to do biometrics for everything that has a username and password on mine.
Yeah. Wait, now do you have an iPhone, Christine?
No.
All of us like, nope.
I have my Samsung.
Okay.
Look at all those.
There you go. Because I mean, well, okay.
No hate to the iPhone users. We do have some in our family. So
no, I'm hating hard. Yeah, no, I am. I mean, there's no denying it, and everybody knows it. And I have friends who are actually misled, and we're trying to get them back over to the good side. But no, there's a lot of hate coming from me. As a matter of fact, let's see.
You're gonna pop up something that's like an anti-iPhone ad all of a sudden.
I mean, I fixed it.
That darn broken Apple.
Yes. But no, all jokes aside, to my people who have Apple devices, no hate. That was just a joke. We're all about love and peace over here and fighting fraud together.
I know that you guys are talking about biometrics. For your phone.
We were.
We were.
She's like, let's get back over here.
Transition. You like it so far? Another thing that was making me think, because of it being stolen identity, everything else, anybody can use this, but especially if you have family members, friends that are in elder care, put a lock on your credit report. Yeah. You can do that. Yes. It is free. go to annualcreditreport.com. You get a copy of your credit report for free from all 3 agencies every 12 months. Pull one from each of them every 4 months, and you'll be able to monitor what's getting hit on your report. And getting that lock taken off and put back on is not that hard. I have it on mine.
Yeah. You just pick up the phone and call, and they'll do it. So now, let's talk about a few other things here. Because, like Thomas said, the loans were actually low dollar amounts. But we were trying to figure out before the show, and we welcome comments from everyone else. If you're going to steal somebody's identity and purchase certain things, why would you purchase $500,000 in cars? Like, the resale is hard to do on that, and it's not necessarily that high because that's a depreciating asset. So we came up with a couple of things, and the one thing that I thought of was, well, the finance manager, he may have only partially been in on it because he probably got a commission for originating the loans. But other than that, what would be the benefit unless you just had that many family members that needed vehicles? I mean, why cars? I can understand.
Thomas, does your link tell you what they all got in credit cards and stuff?
No. The information online was really hard to come across as far as details go.
I'm
gonna look. Yeah, I'm gonna look a little bit more, but yeah, I'm very curious what the audience thinks about as far as why they went after cars. Because yeah, like you said, they depreciate so quickly, and you have to store them somewhere.
And it looks like there's a total of 5 defendants in this whole entire case, based on the Pacer monitor that I found because it is being tried. I mean, it looks like it's federal prosecution. Yep. He doesn't work for the dealership anymore, or at least he's not on their active employment. I did find his LinkedIn. He's been in finance for probably 4 going on 5 years. Another 2.5 as a sales and lease consultant. And then before that, he was like a DirecTV sales representative. So, I mean, could he have done shady stuff before, or did he just happen to be brought in? Or was he in a relationship with one of the other people? Because how do you get that connection?
Yeah. Now, there's a good point.
Oh, what did I see? I saw something about him. Yeah, I closed it out already. Darn it. There was one that I saw that had him, and it said who his girlfriend was, and I didn't even look to see where they related. I'm gonna see if I can find that again real quick.
Ah, okay. There we go.
Where'd you find that? Show me your ways, Thomas.
All right. So I think this is Stephanie again. In my experience, there are a larger amount of people who were not born in the U.S. working at nursing homes as caregivers, etc. They often don't have U.S. credit and can't get a car loan or are charged 29% interest. You know what? That is actually a really good point, and we didn't think about that because now, again, we're just all speculating here, but when you look at the individuals, one of them was Aslades Diaz, and another was Berto Omar Rodriguez, and let's see, where's the other one? I'm missing the other few, but okay, so that's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah, see, Roxanne agrees. By the way, if you are listening right now live to us, drop hashtag that audit guy into the chat for your chance to win a prize towards the end of the show. Some people have already been doing it. And Shafundu, last week, man, you said it was going to be you. It wasn't you last week. Maybe, just maybe, this week is your week. Maybe.
Well, I'm the finance manager. He's got a chemical engineering degree.
Oh, wow. Now that's interesting. Huh. That is very interesting. So yeah, so that was a good speculation by I think that was Stephanie. Maybe they did not have credit and couldn't get cars, and maybe that's why they got the cars. Because I was wondering, and so as a bonus, you get your friend who's a finance manager a commission on the sale of the car too. Interesting. Now, Stephanie says it's also horrible how non-natives are taken advantage of. I had helped many get out of high interest loans. Yes, that is, yeah, yeah.
And I have seen there's more financial institutions that are opening up. People that are not legally here, they can apply for tax identification numbers, they can apply for loans. There's a lot of financial institutions that actually have those underwriting guidelines for individuals like that. So as long as they apply for a tax identification number, they can open up their accounts. And as long as they file their taxes and can show proof of income, they could get loans.
Ooh, so you know what? While we're here, I've got a surprise for everyone. And I've been saying this for about the last month, and now we're finally here. For those of you who watch live, coming up in a couple of weeks, you will be able to get CPE to watch live. Now, you won't be watching on LinkedIn or on YouTube. The show will still be broadcast on LinkedIn and YouTube, but you will have a special link that you will go to. And we'll be there together. And after the show is over with, you'll get your CPE probably within anywhere from 5 minutes to a couple of hours. So every week as you join us, you will now get CPE. What do you guys think about that? Do you like that? Is that something that sounds good to everyone? I just think it's something that we're here, so we might as well get credit for spending time with one another. I mean, now, the other surprise I have, it's almost the end of the year, and everyone is probably scrambling to get those ethics credits. And you're probably looking everywhere. You probably see the courses. Here they are, $50 here, $100 there. Well, in December, I'm not going to tell you the date yet because I'm building all the landing pages and everything for you. In December, we'll give you 2 hours of ethics for free. Absolutely 100%.
Ooh.
So if you're hearing this and I've not put out the actual web address to go to yet, DM me on LinkedIn, #ethics. See, I want you to use the hashtag so that when I search my inbox on LinkedIn, I can find you so that I can email you as soon as I build out the landing page and have the link ready. But I just wanted to give a heads up to that special surprise to everyone. And the last thing I want to tell you guys about is We'll Audit Bites. You've seen the podcast. You love it. Most of you do. Some of you do. The last few episodes have been pretty good. October the 10th, Stop Auditing After the Fact. October the 24th was my favorite episode, Board Governance Gone Wrong. And coming up next week on Tuesday, Why Communication Skills Are Important for Auditors. Why communication skills are important for auditors. If you want to know how to join that show, just follow me on LinkedIn or go to auditbites.com. All right. That's all my selfless, shameless promotions. Now I didn't know this either. Wait, is this Stephanie again? ITINs are recycled? I didn't know that. Oh.
I wonder when they're going to start expanding how many numbers we have in our social security numbers.
It's got to happen soon. Yeah. Well, the hardest thing about the socials is a few of the digits are actually based on the state that you were born in.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of hurts the situation some. But it's almost like back in the day, and now I'm going to show my age again. Back in the day when we talked telephone numbers, we only talked about 7 digits usually. Even though there were always 10, very few people called long distance. And so you just ask people for their 7 digits.
I don't feel that old, but maybe now this is going to show my age because I live in Wisconsin, and if you can't tell by the accent, but
No,
I remember when people were freaking out because we had to get away from the 414 area code and split it with Milwaukee. Like everybody was up in arms. They're like, you're going to a 920. We're moving 414 down here. And everybody's like, are you kidding me? And I'm sitting here going, this is the first time I ever really realized we had 3 extra numbers in front of our home phone number. But now I think we're talking
we keep
about
freaking out every time we have a new 3 digits added because we have so many different prefixes now in the greater Houston area. So it's funny that yours is like multiple states.
right. But like, I think they're freaking out because they're talking about splitting again. But I'm guessing, Thomas, you guys have multiple, but like, so like the Green Bay, where the Packers are,
Go Pack.
I'm like 40 minutes away from them, and we have the same area code as them. So I mean, it's eventually going to have to get to that.
Yeah. So now, let's talk about our alleged criminals again. Yeah. One of them is actually scheduled for a change of plea hearing, or was scheduled for a change of plea hearing on October the 29th. So I'm guessing maybe he changed his plea from innocent to guilty.
And this is the one thing that like really frustrated me with doing the research on this. Like there were multiple articles that said that he was going to change his plea deal back in August. That was the end of the story. I'm like, okay, what was he changing it to? What was the results of that? There was nothing.
Right. I was trying to find that too and couldn't find it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, but Florida seems to be on this big. It's their transnational elder fraud strike force is what I found, because this case was included, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 6 that they all did in 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, between November 2021 all the way through.
I mean, let's be real. It's Florida. They need all the strike forces they can get.
Yeah, because they actually do have another one called the Senior Protection Program. So they have a few different things where they're trying to protect the interest of seniors. And if you've just joined us, we're talking about an individual who was a care worker in a nursing home, and she obtained personally identifiable information of 2 elderly folks and was able to obtain, from what we know, at least $500,000 in auto loans, and then some other loans based on the CARES Act and a few other acts to help with coronavirus. So they stole the personal information and filled out loan applications in the names of other people. And they were charged with some interesting charges. They've probably been on the books for a while, and we probably just never heard of them. But oh goodness, I just lost my place where I was gonna say it again.
I'm just wondering how they got found. How?
Oh yeah.
What tipped them off?
Conspiracy to commit access device fraud. Yeah, and that's a good point, Christine. What tipped them off? Because if these people were in nursing homes, presumably they weren't necessarily using their credit and maybe didn't care about it.
Well, looking at the details here, it talked about fraudulent economic disaster injury disaster loan. That's a long word. SBA loan under the CARES Act. But then it says were applied for. That doesn't mean they actually got those loans. So I wonder if through the application process, did red flags hit that way?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the FBI was involved out of their Miami field office. The U.S. Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, and the Cyber Crimes Investigation Division. So it's making me wonder if maybe somebody tipped off the Cybercrime Division.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for all we know, it could have been the DMV with all those vehicles being titled under those.
Very true. Now, Stephanie asked a really good question. I think this is Stephanie. My LinkedIn is lagging, so I can't cheat to see who this is. Is it true that our cell phone numbers are becoming our new form of identification. So if you lose your phone, and it's used in a crime, they can incriminate you. I've not heard that, but what I will say is they do use your phone whenever there's some sort of crime to triangulate your position to see where you were. Our phones also have a lot of information about where we are and what we're spending. And so to that end, they are very helpful, our phones, that is, in helping the police solve crimes.
Mhm. And a lot of these charges are conspiracy to commit.
Oh, wait, Stephanie says that's not her. Yeah, for some reason, LinkedIn just stopped showing me the comments. So I can't even look to see
It
who
looks
this
like
is.
it was, I think you pronounce her name Kae, because it's showing on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, what I'm saying is over here, the comments have just stopped. I don't even see any new ones on my LinkedIn. It's weird.
I'm gonna try refreshing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but you were saying, Thomas, sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, it's all right. So a lot of these charges are conspiracy to commit charges. They're not actual, because if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not an expert on this, but conspiracy to commit means they were attempting to. That doesn't mean they actually did commit some of these crimes. So I wonder if they were applying for some of these loans fraudulently and they got caught in the application process.
Well, and that's a good point, because with the wire fraud, you notice they were charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and also wire fraud. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point.
Same with the unauthorized access to use of an unauthorized access device, because then they have conspiracy to commit access to device fraud. So that's one. It was trying to use it, and another one actually did use it at one point. So yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy. So it seems like they were caught before they were able to get away with a much bigger crime.
Yeah, and then one of my questions too is whose device? Was it one of the elderly patient's device, such as a laptop or a cell phone, or was it the actual nursing care facilities device? So look, guys, while we're here, we're about to give away something in a few minutes. So if you want to be a part of the giveaway, drop that audit guy that audit guy into the chat. Hashtag that audit guy into the chat. You can do it on LinkedIn or YouTube, and you will be eligible to win. I think Stephanie already won a book, and I think she got it. I don't know if you've read it yet, Stephanie, but I think she's got a book, and Clarence has a T-shirt that should be on its way. Hopefully sometime before Christmas. Now, you know how it is. It's that time of year, though, right? When stuff is really slow. Stuff is very, very slow. So
I'm guessing they didn't get forgery charges. Did they not forge those people's signatures when they were buying vehicles?
ooh, that's a good point.
Like, I just feel like there's some charges that are missing here. I mean, they got the aggravated identity theft. And then it's like conspiracy to commit wire fraud, but then they also got wire fraud. So maybe it's depending upon what they did, like you said, Thomas. Like, it looks like they applied for those loans. So is that the conspiracy?
Probably so.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where you don't go after everything. For one, to that way you can just focus in on the more serious crimes, but then also if they're not able to get a guilty charge, because right now it's all alleged. Nobody has actually been found guilty. I don't believe. I think it's all alleged at this point. But if they, I'm sorry, it does say found guilty. My bad.
But it doesn't say how long she has to serve.
No, yeah, there's a lot of those details that she might not have been sentenced yet. But what I was going to say, though, is they might have been going after these charges, knowing they could get these to stick, but also having some that they were kind of holding back in case they weren't able to get guilty here. Then you go after some of the others. Maybe. I don't know.
It's
maybe
really making me want to know what's in the indictment, because the U.S. Attorney District's office, they did a motion to seal it and it was granted.
Ah,
Maybe
that
that's why we
explains-
can't find out anything.
That explains a
Yeah.
lot, because there is a service that you can sign up for where you can see those indictments, but I'm not paying $50 a month for that.
Well, for Pacer, well, Pacer's
Yeah,
free,
Pacer.
but I think every single time you get a report pulled, it costs money.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
I
yeah.
didn't know how much it was though.
Yeah, there's a subscription to it too, monthly. Now we got Christine listening on YouTube. Christine, I think you won a book one time too, didn't you? Have you gotten your book? I think you did, because I try to look at the Amazon to make sure it's people.
I bought your book.
No, not you, Christine. This Christine right
Oh.
here. Right here. This listening on YouTube that just
I'm
dropped.
like, I got your book right here.
By the way, Christine on YouTube, that audit guy. If you want to be put in the drawing. Oh, she did get her book and she said thank you. Okay, I was just making sure because I keep forgetting. But now Stephanie says she hasn't read it yet. She just finished 4 months of studying for the CAMS test. And here's a good question. Do nursing homes actually allow residents to have cell phones? I don't know. Because I guess there's a difference between nursing homes and assisted living facilities too. So I think those are different.
It might also depend on the level of support that the elderly person needs, right?
Because you don't want somebody with dementia with a cell phone. That would be bad.
They would be
That
like
would
a
be-
politician having a cell phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
so with the rate of vulnerable adult crimes happening with seniors, this just seems that cell phones would not be permitted to better protect seniors from fraud by using landlines. But here's the other thing, though. What if a senior is being abused and need to reach out and touch some of their relatives? That's like a case for cell phones. I think a lot of this stuff is kind of almost a no-win situation. You just have to set some ground rules and then monitor stuff really, really hard.
Well, but even those that are in nursing homes that don't have family, that don't have anybody in their life to watch over them.
Yeah. Boy, yeah, that's something else. So are we ready for a giveaway? Wait a minute. Why does my giveaway screen look like that? Let's see. There we go. All right. Are we ready for a giveaway? Oh, heck, I'm ready.
Do it.
Hopefully it's not me again today.
I was gonna say, yeah, I see your face popping up on there.
Look at that. Look at that. Okay, redraw. Let's
It's
draw
not rigged
again.
at all.
Not at all. Let's draw again. Let's draw again. Oh, Christine, you won something else. Now, Christine, here's the thing. Since you already won a copy of Ask Better Questions, Get Better Answers, I have another book. Now, it's a riveting book, very riveting. The subject is audit work papers. Let's see if I can actually pull it up. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get it on Amazon here. It's very exciting. I mean, who wouldn't want a book on work papers? Now, it has 7 ratings, and so, I mean, they're pretty good. A brief introduction to audit work paper principles, very detailed. Somebody says a brief introduction, somebody says very detailed. So, I mean, I guess it's all relative, right? So, as you can see here, 5-star, 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 4-star reviews on it. I don't know. Somebody just really didn't like it, but hey, we don't care about them. That's just one person. But
One person gave you 1 star?
well, here's what's funny about it. I think when you don't leave a comment, somehow Amazon ranks it or does it differently, because there it is. But if you click, there's nothing there for it. It says, sorry, no reviews match your current selection. So what I'm thinking is it was a hater. You know, it was somebody who just, you know, somebody who's in the same business as me who probably doesn't like me and wanted to besmirch my good name.
I was gonna crack up if you clicked on it. It was like Christine or someone like that you like give you one star.
Oh my goodness. Now, and
Don't
so
click it.
so Christine says, yay, she'll take it. So, you know, because yeah, but that's my only speculation, because let's see what else. When you look at it, like I said, it's a very short book and it's all about work papers. but it's actually 170 in the financial auditing category right now in the Kindle, and it's 597, ranked 597 for financial auditing. And when you look at the other book, though,
I say that's really good.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Now, if you look at Ask Better Questions, it has 13 reviews. It's sitting at 4.5 from a star rating. And let's see, it's number 62 in the financial audit category for the Kindle store, and then number 217 for the financial audit category in paper books. So, not doing too bad in the rankings there on Amazon. Not doing too bad in the rankings. And then this one says 204. And then it's ranked number 3,000 in communication skills books. So not too bad. Not too bad there. I'd say I'm proud of myself.
I did just order your second book.
Oh boy, well, I appreciate that. Well, and then you can tell us if it's just an overview or if it's detailed.
I'll give you feedback if you would like.
What's
She's like,
funny?
oh, I'll give you feedback.
What's funny is how exciting can a book on work papers actually be, though? I mean, really. Let's just be honest.
I understand, but I also sit here and think if I could do better in my work papers, if I can lead, my staff auditor and help her out, I mean, I'll read it.
Yeah.
So what led you to write a book about work papers? I've never asked you that question before.
Because I've seen so many horrible work papers. The thing is, throughout my audit career, I noticed I got very few review notes, and people would grab my old work papers to look at things. And I was trying to figure out why in the heck are people grabbing my work papers? And then as I rose in the ranks and I became a senior auditor and then an audit manager and then audit director, I understood why people grab my work papers. Because you notice on all my shows, I tell stories. I like telling stories. And so I take that same approach with work papers. I tell the story. And so I thought everybody just did that naturally. And when I found out they didn't, I said, you know what? We've got to write a book about this. Well, first I did a training course. And I said, well, most of my training courses can actually be books because I'm working on a few right now. And so that's how it started, just seeing bad work papers. Like really bad work papers.
I mean, I've seen your work papers. They're phenomenal. So it makes sense that it led to a book.
Yeah, I just, oh God, that's one of my pet peeves, man, is bad work papers. Because I think if you put in the time up front, it saves on the back end.
Yeah.
Now you're making me question if my work papers are good.
I know, like I never want you to actually review any of my work papers, but yeah.
Well,
I think I link too much. I have too many links.
You know what? I think if you have a choice between overdoing and underdoing, as long as you don't waste too much time, overdo. As long as it doesn't waste too much time, you got to have the time element in there.
No, I do links because that way, if I'm explaining something, and you want to see what I was looking at, I will get you exactly to where I was looking at.
Right. And it should always be a circular link too. You go, you take the link over and then you take the link back so that now I can follow it.
Never even thought of that.
Huh?
I never even thought of that.
What? Why
doing
not?
Circular links.
Yeah, it's like Hansel and Gretel. You got to leave your breadcrumbs. See, this is why I wrote the book. This is why I wrote the book.
And surprisingly, I'm watching the number of viewers on LinkedIn, and the number hasn't gone down. I was expecting, we start talking about work papers, and people like are dropping off. They're actually still sticking around. This is impressive.
It really, well, you know what? Imagine in about 2 to 3 weeks when we start giving credit, CPC credit for watching the live show. Because, oh, by the way, I said this earlier, for those of you who joined us late, In a few weeks, we're going to be giving you credit for watching the live show. But if you want to do the replay, you'll have to go to my website, and that won't be free. Watching it live is free CPE, but on my website, it will not be free. Now, fear not, people, because the cost will be very attractive to you, because our goal is to bring you some of the good training, some of the best training at reasonable rates. And, that's just how we do it.
Thank you, Rob.
Ooh, hey, Christine, did you see your former boss has a new job?
Which former?
David.
Oh, yes. No, David wasn't my boss.
Oh, he wasn't your boss? Okay.
No, David had already moved over to accounting. Yeah, I did see that on LinkedIn. I told him congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, David, he was great because he had moved over from audit into, he was one of the accounting managers there. So when I came on, their audit department, the two individuals that were there were already gone, and they were gone for like 4 months. So David did a great job on helping me find things, and definitely helped me save a lot of time in integrating my role there. So it's cool that he's back in audit, because yeah, he's a really great guy to work with. So I think they're really lucky to nab him. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, guys. So today, episode number 121, the nursing home nonsense. If you happen to see something wrong happening at a nursing home, please do speak up, because, well, the elderly need someone to speak up for them. Well, they need us to speak up for them, because they can't do it themselves. They need our help. In today's episode, someone stole the identity of 2 elderly people and purchased cars and applied for a bunch of loans. It was over $500,000, and while we aren't really sure exactly how they did it, we know that they accessed personal information from some devices either at the nursing homes, belonging to the nursing home, or on the person of the elderly people. Protect your devices, protect the elderly. Tom, Christine, any parting words?
Sounds like all of us agree that you should not use the iPhone. So folks, go out and get the latest Samsung as soon as you can. I suggest the Fold, because then you can see, things a lot clearer that way. But yeah.
And on that note, we'll see you all next week.
See you guys.
Yeah.